You gotta be an idiot to lose money on a Porsche, or just buy the wrong one. So here are 10 plus Porsches of all different flavors that are primed to go up in value. I'm Brad, like, subscribe, and let's go. The Porsche community is like nothing else, and even if we're hit with a recession, these cars aren't going down in value. Now, I'm gonna run you through the best values of my favorite more modern Porsche models. All right, let's start things off with a banger, starting with the 911, the underdog that's finally getting its glow up. First up, we got the 996.1 Carrera with the holy grail option, LSD, aka option code 220. This thing is packing baby GT3 DNA, but without the big price tag. It's got that classic pure Porsche feel, and guess what? Enthusiasts, well, they're finally waking up to how rad it is. Why? Because under all that fried egg headlight hate, you've got a lightweight, responsive machine that shares a ton of hardcore GT3 DNA. And those headlights? Well, who doesn't love eggs with their breakfast? Am I right? As more people realize what this car is capable of, values are already shooting up. But if you want all-wheel drive and that thick, sexy 911 turbo rear end, it's all about the Carrera 4S, or the poor man's turbo. Only thing poor about it is the price, because the performance is rich. And let's be honest, there's just something about a naturally aspirated engine that just hits different. It's pure, it's raw, and way easier on the ears. Now, your boy put his money where his mouth is, because I snagged one a couple of years ago, and it's not only been the best 911 I've ever owned, but it's also doubled in value. And I've linked to all the best deals on these ideal Porsches using Auto Tempest. Check out the first pinned comment below and find your ideal ride. So for prices, here's a nice 996.1 6-speed manual that sold for under 20 grand. And look at the listing. It does have that super sought after limited slip diff. Man, what a beautiful car. And taking a peek at the graph, they've been relatively flat in price over the past year and a half, but they're only gonna keep going up here on out. As for the C4S, they're still in the 30s if you look really hard, but if they're anything like the 996 turbo market, well, it's only gonna go up as well. All right, we gotta talk about the Porsche 997.1 base Carrera, because I own one as well, and I'm not even kidding. This is one of the sneakiest investments you can make right now. First off, you're gonna wanna focus on the 2006 to 2008 models. Why? Because Porsche made some key upgrades that seriously reduce your chances of dealing with the notorious IMS bearing failure. Plus, the base Carrera has smaller bores, which means less risk of bore score. Now, mine's got over 100,000 miles on it, and it's still running like a freaking champ, which brings me to why you want the 997 specifically. It's the last of the naturally aspirated hydraulic steering 911s. That means you're getting a raw, connected driving experience that today's electronic assisted cars just don't deliver anymore. I mean, guys, tell me a car that hits harder for less than 30 grand. Yeah, that's a showstopper. All right, let's talk Porsche 987.2 Cayman. The one that you guys love the most, and it's the ultimate driver's car for those in the know. This mid-engine beast is like a scalpel on wheels, just slicing through corners with precision that'll have you feeling like a pro racer. At least it made me feel like one. And honestly, it might even drive better than a 911, but keep that on the down low because I don't want everyone to know. Now, here is the kicker. No IMS issue on the 987.2, so that flat 6 is solid. Right now, these things are bargains, near 911 level performance without the price tag. I mean, 20K seems to be the floor on these bad boys. They might not hit the stratosphere in value, but they sure as hell won't drop below that. Get one now before the secret's out. The Porsche Boxster 987.2. Yeah, I think we've all called it the box turd back in the day, but let's be real, it shares the same chassis and power plant as the Cayman. So you're getting all the killer handling and precision of a Cayman with the added bonus of open top driving. That mid-engine layout, well, still there, so it hugs the road and you can really hear that flat 6 sing. Honestly, the 987.2 Boxster delivers the same thrill as the Cayman, but with more sun and fun. Having driven both on the track and on the back roads, I'm gonna say that I like the Boxster. It's just way more playful and light. Maybe it's a lower center of gravity without the top? I don't know. Anyone else experienced that? Well, prices, they're still sitting at a killer value, but not for long. I mean, 16.5K for this manual Boxster with the same DNA as the Cayman? This is the steal of the century. But those prices won't stick around forever. time to pull the trigger before they start climbing. Now, if you don't love SUVs, well, you're gonna love them after I present to you not one, but two ideal Cayennes. The first is the Porsche 958 Cayenne GTS. It is a legend with a 4.8-liter V8 pumping out 420 horses of naturally aspirated power. No turbos here. It handles more like a sports car than an SUV, and the exhaust note is pure bliss. GTS goodies? Air suspension, Alcantara seats, and enough power to tow 7,716 pounds. It's like enough to tow a house. For 20 grand, there isn't a better all-around Porsche available. But if you want to make money driving a Cayenne, let's talk 957 manual for a second. That's just a unicorn. Porsche decided to throw a manual transmission in an SUV, and it worked. This thing is the definition of rare, offering driving engagement you just can't get with automatics. It's the SUV for drivers who want to feel every shift and corner, which is why it's becoming a cult classic among enthusiasts. If you want something special, and I mean really special, this is it. Here's a low mileage one that sold for 19 grand, and I can guarantee you they are not building manual Cayennes anymore. Okay, let's be real. This one isn't skyrocketing in value anytime soon, but if your heart is set on a Macan, the 2017 to 2019 Macan S is your best bet for holding its value over the short term or maybe long term. With a turbocharged V6 pushing out 340 horses, it's packed with Porsche DNA. Nimble, powerful, and straight up just fun to drive. And yeah, it's an SUV, but it doesn't really feel like one. It's got the looks, the power, and enough room for the crew. The perfect combo of practicality and luxury without losing that Porsche magic. Want daily errands to feel exciting? This is it. And for under 20, that's a steal. All right, the 970.2 Panamera GTS. It's like a beast in a tux. Naturally aspirated 4.8-liter V8 pumping out 440 horses that gives you that rare, raw punch. This thing's a dying breed of V8s from Porsche, and it handles like a dream thanks to its adaptive air suspension and lower stance. It's kind of the perfect mix of luxury and aggression, with blacked out trims and that mean body styling. Need more? Well, guess what? It can tow 4,850 pounds. Yeah, you're hauling trailers in style. The best part though, these gems are going for mid-20s. With that V8, they've got a shot at appreciating in value. Grab one before the secret's out. Okay, let's just be real for a sec. The EV market, it's like the stock market after too much coffee. 1 minute prices are sky high, and the next they're crashing harder than your uncle's crypto account. And yep, that includes Porsche's pride and joy, the Taycan. Sure, it's fast, techy, and eco-friendly, but EV prices, they just don't stick. Here is a graph of all Taycan prices over the last 4 years, and it's a steady decline of 50% depreciation over those 4. Between new tech, outdated batteries, and wild supply and demand swings, it's a roller coaster. If you want an EV Porsche though, my suggestion is get the base model because they seem to depreciate slower than the turbo trims. But let's face it, you're not gonna come out a winner here. If you are looking to be a winner, time for the honorable mention, baby. These are more expensive, sure, but they're only going up in value. I'll sum it up in 2 words for you. GT cars. You may not make a fortune flipping it, but one thing's for sure, you definitely won't lose. Now, the 997 GT3 is a future classic, and here's why prices are climbing. First off, it's got the legendary Metzger motor, basically bulletproof and born from Porsche's racing roots. No turbos, no gimmicks, just 415 naturally aspirated horses screaming to 8,400 RPM. Porsche doesn't make cars this raw anymore, and enthusiasts are begging for that analog, driver-focused experience. Rear-wheel drive, manual transmission, basically purest heaven. Throw in low production numbers, and you've got a car that's getting rarer and more desirable every single day. Prices, they've been rising faster than this thing on the Autobahn. 120K for a Metzger with 25,000 miles? Count me in. The 981 Cayman GT4, straight up masterpiece. I mean, Porsche took the 911 Carrera S engine, threw it into mid-engine Cayman, and made it manual only. Beautiful. That's right, no PDK here. You're looking at 385 naturally aspirated horses and GT3 level suspension. So it handles like an absolute dream, ripping through corners like a GT car. So why is it gonna skyrocket in value? Well, limited production, no more pure NA manuals like this coming out, and it's a legit track weapon you can drive home. Prices better jump quick because this baby's only going up. Racing Yellow never looked so fast for 85 grand. This is my grail car. It's a 991.2 GT3 Touring. It's a stealthy, wingless beast with a 4-liter flat six pushing out 500 horsepower. It's the ultimate driver's car with a 6-speed manual, perfect for both the track and cruising under the radar. What makes it special? Well, all the GT3 power minus the giant wang, making it a rare and sought after combo. With limited production, a naturally aspirated engine, and that manual gearbox, prices are heading to the moon. If you want one, grab it before it's out of reach. Here's one that just sold for under 200 grand with fees, and I can't really see them going any lower anytime soon. But it's not all about GT cars. There's actually a few other hidden gems as well. Dad, I hope you're watching this, because the turbocharged 3-liter in the 991.2 Carrera base is hands down my favorite Porsche motor. And the Carrera T, it cranks that fun up to 11. This beast is all about unfiltered driving pleasure. Porsche stripped out the fluff and gave us the goods. Manual gearbox, lighter, tighter, and more raw than your average 911. Shorter gearing, rear-wheel drive, and a mechanical limited slip diff means that this thing handles corners like a boss. Every shift will make you feel like a hero. Pure driving perfection is the Carrera T. This is so much car for 90 grand. Plus, they only brought in about 1,000 units into the US. So it makes it kind of a rare gem, adding to its future collectability. And alas, we have the Porsche 944. Now, it might get overlooked, but clean examples are getting noticed. Turbo models especially are going up in value. And if you got one in good shape, well, hold on to it and enjoy it, because it's like a car stock, just continues to rise. Also, the Porsche 968. It's the last Porsche front-engine sports car, and the 968 is gaining some serious attention. Club sport models specifically are very hot, with interest jumping 20%. This thing is a sleeper hit. And how could we forget the 996 Turbo? I mean, it still is a great value right now, but don't sleep on it, because collectors are starting to appreciate its performance and rarity, which means, well, prices are just going up and up and up. Okay, now that you know everything that I know about Porsches, which one do you think has the best chance of going up in value? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the vid, please like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell, and check out these 2 Ideal vids over here. I'm Brad, this is Ideal. We'll see you next week, and promise me one thing: keep living the ideal lifestyle.